out there, all you death heads and violators? Welcome to the Deth-N-Vengeance show. I'm your host, Jonny Deth. With me always, Majin Drew, and the very, very evil Eddie Gein. Deth-N-Vengeance show, coming at ya.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Deth-N-Vengeance podcast with your host, Jonny Deth. With you as always,
Majin Drew, and of course, we're part of the Gruesome too, and we can't do it without this beautiful motherfucker,
Eddie Gein.
Ooh, spooky.
Join us today as we take you to Fhloston Paradise. Oh, tell a dozen follies, lollies, and little lollies. A magic fountain flow of wine, woman, and coochie coochie coo. All night long, all night long, all night. So if you haven't guessed by now, we're going to be talking about one of our favorite movies, The Fifth Element.
Whoa. Not your fucking favorite movie. All of our fucking favorite movies. The greatest fucking movie.
I just said our favorite
I
movie.
know it's our favorite, but fucking I'm improvising, man. It is the greatest fucking movie I ever seen since... Well, never mind. It is the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Since Total Recall.
Total Recall. Wait, which one? Are we talking about
original
Arnold?
Yeah.
The one with Colin Farrell doesn't exist in my mind except for the chick with the three knockers.
Hey, and Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah. But yes, if you have noticed, figured about now, Fifth Element is the name of the game for this episode. We're always doing lines from the movie, and then the last time we did an episode, we tried so hard not to do it because of Andrew.
Fucking Jason Momoa ruined it.
Yeah, so we're like, well, Drew's not here, so
I am sorry, guys.
It wouldn't feel we just couldn't do it. It was like it was like celebrating Christmas without your kids or something. You know what I mean? It's like it just isn't as good. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I'd rather wait so yeah, we tried because we're like, man, we want to do it, and we even hinted a couple times. Now that we're back, all three of us together, we're doing a Fifth Element show. So
get ready for that.
So I'm gonna start off with it was the movie that critics said it was horrible, and it actually when it first came out, I didn't watch it right away. It took me a little while before I watched it because people were like, it's so bad. Oh my God, it's like the worst movie ever. It's stupid. It's shitty. And it wasn't until like Home Rental, like years later, I was all like,
Blockbuster.
All right, I'll give this little movie a go. It was
a little turd nugget.
A little turd nugget of a movie. And then I watched it. And then I watched it again. And then I watched it again. And next thing you know, I bought the VHS DVD, and I was like, oh my God, it was, and I love the movie for its, flaws, and which there's not many, but and it's more of just like little small technical things that I noticed, but they don't make the movie bad, like with Mila Jovovich's hair,
how it was breaking off.
Yeah. It's so I
could wear a wig.
So when she wore the wig, and and then they shaved her eyebrows off, and somewhat I was like. But it doesn't make me like hate the movie. It's just little things like that I noticed. But yeah, it's So we're gonna talk about a lot of our favorite scenes from the movie.
You know what? Let's let the man who knows it best go. E.G., you're up.
So how I came to watching it was I think I was about 6 years old, and it came out on Telemundo. Solo por Telemundo. Yeah, like back then, I guess Telemundo would get all these like, I guess quote unquote shitty movies that didn't do good in the box office. They would get licensing to movies for cheaper that way. So they would always play stuff like Starship Troopers. They would play
Godzilla. I know that for one.
Godzilla. They would play old kung fu movies. They would play Enter the Dragon just because the licensing was so old. But like other shitty movies like The Last Dragon. That was always on there.
Bruce Leroy.
And of course, The Fifth Element. They would play that movie all the time. And so I was 6, and I watched it in Spanish. So I always heard Bruce Willis as, "Soy Bruce Willis." And Chris Tucker as,
La Corbin Dallas.
Corbin. Corbin, mi hombre.
Cabe, my friend.
Come, mi viejo.
Corbin, mi viejo. Yeah, so that's
Estás
how.
verde, super verde.
But I think I watched it a total of at least 100 times.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I've seen it like on repeat. It's got so many one-liners and little scenes that people remember. You know what I mean? Like, and like you said, it was a box office wasn't that great, but over the years, even like Starship Troopers, I remember when that came out, people were like, "Oh man, that's horrible," or "It's not that good." Now it's like this big old fucking
cult classic.
Yeah,
I heard they're doing a remake of Starship Troopers.
I think so.
Probably are.
So I remember watching Starship Troopers, and then later on in the years, I started watching the animation version of it, the Roughnecks.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I used to watch Roughnecks, but my first introduction into The Fifth Element was back in, I think I want to say 98. It was on VHS. My sister,
about 2 years after it came out.
yeah,
It dropped 96.
Yeah. So
96,
my sister,
97.
she was working at Hollywood Videos. Oh my god, right? That's a blast from the past. She was working on Hollywood Videos, and she would like periodically just bring movies over, and she will watch them that night, and then the next day she'll turn them back in. So she had brought Fifth Element, and she was watching it, and I was in the back in the dark hiding like a stalker, but I was watching the movie the whole time. I fell in love, and like when the funny parts came out, I started laughing, and like she was like, "Who the fuck is there?"
And he's all hiding behind a wall going.
Exactly. I was doing that shit.
And then she fucking dozes off, and you see a little chubby hand reach for the popcorn.
But yeah, I saw The Fifth Element, and then I saw it for that first time, and then I constantly would ask my sister, "Hey, can you rent that movie that we saw that one time with the girl with the orange hair?" Yeah, she actually said, "What do you mean we? Wait, you saw that movie?" And we're like, "Yeah." Can you rent the orange hair girl? Because that's what I would just call it. I didn't know the name, so like orange hair girl. I want to see the orange hair girl
because you can see her chiches.
But at that time, I didn't know what those were, so I was like, "Fuck that."
Well, she don't have much chiche, but she has a lot of nipple.
Yeah, she did. She did have a lot of nipple. But after that, like it became like just a movie that was in my criteria, and I feel like it is a great cult classic. Yeah, that movie was so much fun. Like I couldn't help but laugh, cry, sing along with the fucking diva, even though I couldn't sing for shit.
There's a video, maybe we could put in the link where it was like one of those. I think it's some Asian lady. Remember we shared it like on where she hits pretty close to those fucking notes, and there's that whole like little with the voice and stuff.
Well, I think they said that was like synthesized.
Oh, was it? No, yeah. Well, I don't know. They actually have the live version of the girl who did the diva, who played the diva.
And I bet who could do that voice, Michael Winslow from Police Academy.
Yeah, I mean, he does a great Led Zeppelin.
Isn't he dead?
No, he's still alive. Fuck you.
But
don't ever bring down the Winslow, man. Yeah. Between y'all guys, what was y'all favorite part?
All right, well, I say for those people who haven't seen the movie, we're going to break it down from beginning to end, okay? So the basic storyline starts out... Spoilers. If you haven't seen it by now, I'm going to hit you in the head with a tack hammer because it's been out since 96. And
comes out with Aziz.
Yeah,
Light.
Aziz Light.
And Luke Perry, that bastard.
Luke Perry, he little son of a bitch.
Ass.
So they're sitting there and they're at a dig site in like Egypt, and they're uncovering hieroglyphics, and it turns out that they're about to uncover this whole like
underground secret
fifth element, where so there's these 4 stones that are fire, water, earth and wind. Basically it's the same fucking scenario of Captain Planet the cartoon, but with and then the 5th element being this supreme being, and so they're trying to keep the thing secret, and so there's a priest order like that are kept like the priests know about it and they keep it a secret, and so
and it gets passed on.
Yeah, it gets passed on to that priest dies, the next one takes over, then when that one dies, another one takes over. Basically a weapon that's going to destroy like
evil.
Yeah, so it's Earth's greatest weapon.
The universe's greatest
the
weapon.
universe's greatest weapon. And there's these aliens called Mando Chiwans, which are the ones that are, kind of like the keepers,
The guardians.
the guardians of it. And so they come in because they're, going to transfer the stones. Because in 300 years, there's going to be this evil that's
every 5,000 years, there's evil that comes around, and I guess
and it's this unstoppable like force. It's just pure evil, a solid ball of evil that engulfs everything. So then it fast forward, and you see like the future, which is like 300 years into the future.
Well, we had a black president.
Yeah, and it was Debo.
Even 96 predicted the future.
It was Debo. No, it was Debo from Friday, and they had posters say, "What you got on my vote, homie?" And so you see Bruce Willis, who's Corbin Dallas. Corbin.
Major Corbin Dallas.
Major Corbin
Major.
Ex-major.
Yeah. And also, don't forget Fingers.
Fingers, yeah. He's got to bring in the cab for an overhaul.
6-month overhaul.
And so
He only had 2 credits left.
He's only got 2 credits. So he's in this flying taxi. It's the future. All the cars are flying cars, and
in New York too. By the way.
New York, and he's ex-military. He's divorced, trying to quit smoking.
As a cat.
Small apartment.
The opening scene. Give me your cash. This guy pulls up a gun, and he's got a hat, and the hat has a picture of the hallway. So he goes like this. And then when he opens the door, he's all like, "Give me your cash." So like that seems to be an X5 something whatever gun.
That's a very nice gun.
And he's like, "Good thing it's not loaded." And he's all like, "What do you mean it's not loaded?" And he's like, "You gotta push the little red button." And
Yellow button.
Yeah, yellow button. He's all like, "Go ahead." And he pushes it, and then it like malfunctions. And he's
all like, first he goes, he's all like, "Well, you want me to push it?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay." Give me the cash.
And it's all yeah. Then he pulls out a gun, and they're bringing back the stones because they're the prophecy of that impending
300 years.
300 years. So the alien ship gets hijacked by these Mandalorians or something like that. And so they hijack the ship and blow up the
Mando Chiwan spaceship. It crash lands onto the planet. Earth recovers a piece of the perfect being.
Just like a little hand from the...
We only had one survivor, sir.
And how do you call this a survivor? We only need so many mammograms to replicate a human being. A human being has, 200 mammograms?
No, memo groups, and he's like, this one has, 200,000 memo groups and stuff, and like, so they reconstruct the thing, and it ends up being butt naked Mila Jovovich with the, hey, I'm getting the camera. Bing! Turkey's done. It turns out she's the fifth element. And she breaks out of the facility, crash lands into Bruce Willis.
Bada boom.
Bada boom.
Big bada boom.
Bada boom. And crash lands into his cab, and
you just had an accident.
And it was...
I know I just had an accident.
You have 1 credit left.
I know, you daffy bastard. And the cops are after her, and they're trying to figure out, what's going on. There's that ball of energy or hate, whatever, evil. Yeah.
Me.
I can't. I got 1 credit left, and I got to use that to get back for a 6-month overhaul.
Help me.
So
Fingers are going to kill me.
This is the police. You have an unauthorized
occupant in your
occupant in your car.
Please cooperate and open your side bay doors. So he decides to fuck it, and he falls in love with her, and he eludes the police. And
they have a good chase.
They go on a chase, and what she says?
Remember the
lady? Would you please shut up?
Future McDonald's? Yeah, it's like a giant billboard. And,
I am too tired and
too thirsty to go chasing after a hot rod.
Fucking even in McDonald's
in the future,
and they crash into a McDonald's food truck too.
Yeah.
So then, after all that ordeal, she passes out, and she says Vito Cornelius was her last words that he remembers. So he takes her to
The priest.
The current priest that's in charge of the whole
temple
and everything. And at this point, we forgot to mention that thing that they lost the stones forever because the ship got destroyed. And then it turns out, oh no, like this is we need her. This is what's going to help save the, planet and stuff.
So the Earth finds the fifth element. They recover her, but we find the briefcase where the stones are in Zorg's possession.
Mangaloids or Mangorians. They bring the briefcase to Zorg for weapons.
Played by
is that you?
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman plays Zorg.
Hey, he's a fantastic actor.
Chameleon.
He is.
They were gonna trade 4 stones for 4 cases, and he shows them how to use the weapon.
This is what is it called?
The flamethrower. He goes.
My personal favorite.
Every bullet, sends every
one shot.
Sends all the bullets to the exact same shot.
Yeah, a personal favorite. The
flamethrower.
And then the ice cube machine, and
the new edition,
exploding head darts and shit. It's a gun that has everything, and so they bring him an empty case that doesn't have the stones.
This case is empty.
I said 4 stones, 4 cases. 0 stones,
0 cases.
I don't know why.
We're moving out.
One of my favorite scenes is when the priest he lays Mila Jovovich down because she's still passed out, and he's looking at her and he's infatuated with her and he wants to lean in for a kiss. All of a sudden she pulls a gun and he's like, yeah, that was stupid. And then like the priest leaves, you gotta go, you gotta leave, and he's like, Father, he goes, I didn't understand what she said. He goes, well, I didn't say anything she said, but what does ectogamete mean? He's like, never without my permission. But then when he's trying to give her his name, he goes, what's your name? And she's all like, and whatever. And he's like, that whole thing's your name. He's like, you have a shorter name, not
Corbin Dallas.
Yeah, he's like Corbin Dallas. And she's all like Lulu. So yeah, that whole thing with the crates and stuff. And so they're looking for the 4 stones. Turns out they're on
Fhloston Paradise.
You
can probably do. Who can do it?
Fhloston Paradise. Fhloston Paradise.
And the follies, lollies, lick 'em lollies. Is Chris Tucker plays Ruby Rod, which is like this
Ruby Rod
DJ radio host.
Yeah, like he's
hot. And
never seen the service.
Well, before they go to the famous Fhloston Paradise, y'all. But first off, I want to say like the whole part when they're so modest, when they see Lilu getting naked, they turn around.
Yeah.
So like, I think I should make some coffee.
I don't know why, but that fucking movie makes me feel like eating roast chicken.
they really make her perfect.
Yeah. Yes.
I like the way they make food. It's like little pills, and they put them in like an empty tray, and then they put it in a machine for like 3 seconds, and it comes out. It's a fucking.
They cut off to the part where like I guess he's getting Chinese food, and he's like, "Well, I've been having a bad day." He tells him, "You're not gonna get that letter." He's like, "The last letter I got was from my wife. From my wife telling me that."
She's divorcing me.
No. It was the last letter I got was from my lawyer saying my wife wanted to divorce me. He goes, and the second letter I got was from my wife saying she's leaving with my lawyer. And he's like, could be good news. I bet you lunch. And he's like,
okay.
And then it turns out, you fired.
You're fired.
You fired. And then on the bottom you can see Zorg. Oh, because what happened was one of Zorg's assistants was like, we got to cut some costs. Maybe in one of the departments that nobody would notice. 500,000 would be enough. It's like 1 million. But 5.
1
yes,
million,
1 million. And so the part with the Chinese guy, he gets free lunch.
At least
look for the good and bad. I like
good philosophy. You look for the good and bad.
Look for the good and bad.
Confucius say.
And then he gets a call from his mom, right?
Yeah, telling him that he won the trip to
Hello?
Fhloston Paradise.
Corbin, you miserable,
miserable bastard.
leaving me to freeze my ass here on the lunar surface while you win 2 tickets to fucking paradise. You
Mom,
didn't even take your own mother.
What are you talking about?
I was in labor for 32 hours with you, son of a bitch.
Ma, if I won a contest, I would have been notified about it. Someone would have notified me. Ding, ding.
So basically, they need somebody to retrieve the stones, and there's
That's
literally
where the majors,
there's literally a day or two before the thing's gonna hit. So they're like, we need to get somebody out there pronto,
And then the colonel has a guy in mind, which we all know is going to be Corbin.
Corbin, my man.
And then
Give him the tickets and tell him he's won, and what his
and the
mission
three
is.
reasons,
mission is-
like 3 reasons.
Like one, he goes, of all the machinery and technology needed for this mission, you're the only one qualified. And he's like,
was
Two.
a long list of
and
stuff.
then he goes, and 3, he's like, you're the only one of your outfit still left alive and stuff. So then he goes and he accepts the mission, but the priest wants to go and do it for himself. So he comes and steals the tickets that he, those fake tickets that he won,
the rigged tickets.
the rigged tickets to go to Fhloston Paradise.
That's when the police come. He's like, I need everybody to put your hands on the yellow circles.
Yeah, and
This
this
is
is my
qualify as human.
This is not a police drill. This
negative. I am a meat popsicle.
Sir, I think I found the resident. Sir, would you put your hands on the yellow circle?
Smoke you. Wrong answer.
We got them.
So apparently, Zorg had sent the police to arrest Corbin for uranium smuggling, right?
Yeah,
And so that way that one of his henchmen could disguise himself as Corbin and
you don't understand. I am Corbin Dallas.
and get his tickets to Fhloston Paradise.
So then you've got Zorg's henchmen, the young priest, all trying to beat Corbin Dallas, and the Mangalore trying to get the tickets, and Lilu has her fucking multipass that she says about her.
Dallas multipass.
Corbin Dallas multipass. Then she knows it's a multipass.
Yeah, the Mongolian.
She jumps through the trash.
She jumps in the trash, and
The other one does too.
because they do a body scan because they had already checked in Corbin Dallas, and they do a body scan and find out that he's a Mongolian. The police come, and they have a shootout.
They both escape.
In the ensuing chaos, the priest sneaks his way into the cargo, the cargo for the airplane,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the
Then it goes to the guys who are refueling the airplane with radioactive.
The ship, and they head towards Fhloston Paradise, where you meet the annoying and funny Ruby Rod, played by Chris Tucker.
you come across the Chris Tucker scene.
Oh God, Chris Tucker.
Where he's wearing his fucking bodysuit and a blonde afro with a little swirl in the front.
The fucking ding dong. I used to call it
Corbin wants to just be left alone. Wants to remain anonymous.
Yeah, because of the mission, he don't want to draw attention to himself, and of course, the fucking first thing he sees is I'm Ruby Rod, and he's doing this live radio show, right?
Yeah, a podcast. Basically.
Yeah, basically. And he's of course I'm here with Corbin Dallas, and so then they get to Fhloston Paradise, and they're supposed to meet with Plava Laguna, the diva, who's this alien that they entrusted with the stones, and so they have to wait because she's a singer performer.
But then she arrives, and then Lilu's hiding there.
No, she's there with them, and
she's hiding in the hall. And then the diva, she's like,
and you just see the guy stuttering. He's
like, she tells one of her aides to go tell her,
yeah, because she hangs out in the hotel room while the performance is going on, and then
we'll give you the stones whenever the performance is done.
But those Mandalorians that snuck on they kind of crashed the performance and start shooting up the whole theater and stuff.
In that famous diva scene where
oh God.
Talk about that.
Yeah, or she sings that song and she's hitting all these impossible notes,
At the same time, Lilu's fighting off those Mongolians inside her suite. They're like cutting back and forth between the diva dance and
yeah, because they try to steal the the stones first from the hotel room, and Lilu's fighting them off. So this like it cuts back from her singing to Lilu kicking the shit out of all those aliens.
But it becomes
Bruce
like
Lee
an
style.
emotional scene, a whole emotional scene, especially when like all her assistants are dying, and you just see her go, "Can be."
And she's remembering like how the Mongolians attacked the ship and how
killed their family.
Yeah.
Killed her family.
Yes,
no, the Mongolians.
Yeah, her family. She considered them as a
Guardians.
family.
And well, anyways, it cuts back and forth between that. The diva gets shot, and Corbin grabs her off the stage.
He asks her, "Where are the stones? Where are they?" And then she goes, "In me."
Yeah, and so she has a dig through her fucking stomach cavity and shit. And pull out the
First, the Mongolian like comes over to Corbin, and Corbin knocks him down, and is like, if he moves, you shoot him.
Oh yeah, he gives the gun to Chris Tucker. And he's like, "Oh man, I don't do guns, Corbin. I'm afraid of guns. I like using guns." And he's like, he shoots. Basically, he pulls a fucking Marvin from Pulp Fiction, where the Mongolian starts moving and frees Chris Tucker, and she shoots it in the face.
Anyways, the stones are inside the diva because she's like, the stones are in me, and then the Bruce pulls out the stones with all that blue blood.
And so then it turns into they're trying to escape and fight off those Mandalorians.
And he gives Chris
The
Tucker
bomb.
the stones, and he says, "Guard these with your life."
No. If it was a bomb,
all these hotels have bomb alerts.
Yeah,
have bomb detectors. So if it was a bomb, they would have an alarm or whatever. And then the alarm rings. And it turns out Zorg comes and he grabs the briefcase, but it was empty, so he comes back.
He tries to disarm the bomb.
Disarm his bomb, the one he planted, but it turns out the Mongolians had a...
Mangalores.
Oh, and we also forgot about...
negotiations?
Who talked about the negotiations?
Yeah,
We're going to send someone to negotiate!
Basically, they have the Mangalores. They won't fight without their leader, so they're trying to kill the main leader and stuff. And
the leader,
and then also
Mandalorians won't fight without their leader. Send someone to negotiate.
Forgot about that part with in the main hall where they have the whole fight with the Mongolians.
Oh, in the parlor hall.
Yeah.
He's all like, "Ray, throw me the gun! Throw me the gun!" Gets the fucking pinballs. He's like,
Thanks, Ray.
Fucking Ray, dude. I wanted him to die.
Yeah,
I wanted him to die so
I'm
bad.
just here with my wife. We want to take tickets to jump
And
back.
then at the same time, he's like telling Ruby, "Move."
Yeah, he's like, I think he's trying to tell me something.
He's like,
yeah, because as all this shit's going on, fucking Chris Tucker's still on the air, so he's not like, he's trying to tell me something. I don't know what he's trying to say, whatever.
Stop down.
Yeah. He's like,
and that grenade, he plants one on top of there and like, count to 10.
10.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And of course, that's where we go to the negotiation scene, which I love that. He's like, "We're sending someone to negotiate." He's like, who taught him to negotiate like that?
I wonder who.
And the colonel's all like, "Sorry."
I'd be proud. I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I taught him how to do that."
I wonder.
But after that,
the bomb scene.
So then they got to get off the ship before it explodes, and so they barely make it off.
Zorg
the
doesn't.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
Zorg dies.
Spoilers.
So we don't know that for sure. He could be in part 2.
Exactly.
After the bomb scene and all that,
they have the president gives them new orders, right?
Yeah.
Well, they got to make it to the planet because they got back to Earth to the
but Lilu's
temple.
she's all injured and she's like kind of like
she's fading away.
She's kind of disheartened about humanity because she sees like all the atrocities they've done through like the whole computer system that
she was basically trying to learn like the human history. So she was going from A to Z, and when she gets to war, the W war, she kind of like sees like that.
The true nature of humans.
True nature of humans that we fucking destroy and we're idiots and we're fucking stupid. And so, so they get to the temple and they have the 4 elements. So they're trying to figure it out and they think, oh, the priest knows because he's fucking been learning about this his whole life. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck we're supposed to do.
We're
So
never
they
gonna
go
survive
and they set them on the little blocks that they're supposed to be. So then they got to open them, you know, and like they're trying to figure out how to open the stones. And that one kid's like,
this. The assistant.
"We're not gonna make it," and he blows, and all of a sudden the little flap goes on the top of the stone. He's like, "Shit,
Corbin, go in.
So then they figure out, okay,
Shut up! Tell me what you do. I put my hands right here, and I said, "We're never gonna make it." And then I breathe. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then it opens up a little more, and they realize, oh, okay, wind for wind, you know, water for water.
Wind blows, water falls.
Yeah, and so then they get
fire burns.
come on, man! I got no fire. I got no thing.
Got no matches.
Father, do you smoke?
If I'd known, I wouldn't quit smoking. You know,
Trying to quit smoking.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny though. The father, do you smoke? Because like back then, wasn't like a lot of priests were smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. And so then they have a box of matches that Corbin has, and he's got one fucking match, and he lights it, and he's all like,
Don't breathe.
He's all trying to touch it, and it's starting to go out, and he's like, and he touches the thing, and the fire went open. So then he's got to get Lilu, you know,
So
going.
like, what did she say? So like,
He's like, come on, I need you to.
What's the point of
saving the world?
you gotta fight for something.
All you do is destroy it.
saving life when we seen what?
And so basically, she's like, why is it worth me saving whatever? And so he's like, I need you, I want you, and they're all like, say it, Corbin, say it. You know, she's like, why? And then there's a little fucking 2-minute pause where they're like, say it, Corbin, say it. And then he's finally like, I love you and stuff. And all of a sudden, she like, you know, they're about to get impacted by that thing, and all of a sudden she. And
she does a spirit bomb from her mouth.
She does this Dragon Ball Z spirit bomb, and you know, and takes out the evil and saves the world.
Oh, I love the end though. They're like, where are my heroes? They
no, like Lilu shoots the thing up, and all of a sudden she drops back and she collapses into Corbin.
Yeah.
And it's all quiet. And all of a sudden. Yeah! And then, like, Chris Tucker's like,
What's wrong with you?
what the hell's wrong with you? There's always bombs going off.
Every 5 minutes there's someone yelling.
I don't need this.
I fucking love that.
And then they get to the end, they're like, and you know, the president's like, where are our heroes? And they're like, oh, they're in the recovery chamber. And he's like, well, get them out. I want to congratulate them and stuff. And, you know, they're in there like.
You're on live in 1 minute.
They're having coitus. And so they're all doing a little bit of this.
But if Corbin's mom calls and is like, "Oh, we have someone claiming to be."
Well, give it here.
You ain't the president. The president's a fucking moron. You're not a moron.
He's all right.
The president, you know, the president sounds like the president's
a fucking idiot.
You don't sound like an idiot. Like, I like how everybody like passes the phone over. Like,
they're all like taking it to the back.
They're all like touching it, like telling like nasty or whatever.
You can tell Corbin that poor miserable bastard that he leaves me here and his own mother.
I gotta find out he saved the world.
I should have never pushed him out.
I should never pushed you out of my body.
But what's that song that plays at the end? I love it though. Sounds like Seal, right?
No. I actually checked it out one time. I have it down somewhere, but it's
The night of your life.
It's like that 90s music, man.
Yeah, it's
like you can't really get it. Like, remember that fucking band Soundgarden?
Yeah.
No, not Soundgarden. Truly, Madly, Deeply.
Oh, Savage Garden.
Savage Garden.
But anyways, that pretty much ends it right there.
Yeah, I mean, we're leaving out. We just kind of gave you the main bullet points, you know.
But now let's talk about our favorite scenes from the movie. I think we can all agree all of Ruby's scenes were pretty.
Chris Tucker was all his scenes were spot on. Like his character, they
kind of stole the movie.
They couldn't have got anybody else. If they got anybody else, like no, I bet you if they do a remake, they're gonna fucking get Kevin Hart. Fucking okay, Corbin. I'm gonna tell you something. Okay. This is what's gonna happen, okay? I'm gonna tell you why, okay? And then
I hope not.
Fuck Kevin Hart, bro.
Or who else would they get?
Jay Farrell.
No,
Jay Farrell.
Keegan or Peele?
No, they're gonna get fucking Russell Brand. Oh, I might. Okay, all right. You got Fhloston Paradise. Okay, you know.
No, I think they should get Jay Farrell because he could do Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Or just have Chris Tucker do it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would do it because he
I know he kind of chunked out now. Have you seen him on the last Netflix?
No.
Oh, the Live with Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Why do you say we love that movie so much though?
Well, I'm gonna go first because I'm the bitch of the group. So, I want to say, like, I find with all the movies that I watch, I find like a kind of emotional connection somehow. If it has to deal with my depression or it has to deal with like how my life was, this movie is actually nostalgia for me, and the emotional connection that I get is that it's something that built who I am and my love of how movies are, and like the really cheesy movies that are underrated. Like there's so many. Gattaca is one of them. All underground movies that I know that I've seen, like Ginger Snaps, May, all those movies. I come to love them because they're independent. They have their own free will. With this one, I love it because it's hilarious. It's funny. It has action, drama, comedy. It has like coming to age. It has like romance for once. Like that. Like it's all different categories in one movie.
Luc Besson's space opera.
Yeah. Like it is a space opera, and I do
That's how he
love
described
opera.
it. Whenever if you see like the documentaries of how they did The Fifth Element, he always says like, "Yeah, it's my space opera" or whatever.
Yeah, and I think with me, it's it was just executed really well. Like the and it's just underappreciated. I think I think it came out in a time when there was other stuff going on that people. I think it got kind of like lost in the shuffle of the movies that year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, because I'm trying to think.
Wasn't 7 out then?
Because in '96, I'm trying to think what fucking movies were. It was like Independence Day. You had like the Nutty Professor.
Didn't 7 come out around 96?
No, I think it came out something like the 95, 96. Yeah, so I mean, there was a whole bunch of movies that came out like that year. That were, that kind of maybe overshadowed it. And, and then you see Independence Day was this big old fucking blockbuster movie. And then you see this one, which, it's one of those things like you don't appreciate it at the time because you're like, oh, well, there's this new thing over here. But then you're like, it's like having like a fucking 2018 Mustang and then having a 65 Mustang, that's, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, this one's got, do this, I can do this. You can, satellite and fucking Bluetooth and all this kind of stuff. And you're getting all caught up in all the gadgets and, I can fucking access my computer. I can hook this. I can, hook it up to a fucking wall and I don't need gas. All this, things that it has going. And then, like you don't notice the older, beat up kind of like, classic one. And then, later on you're like, well, wait a minute. Oh my God. You kind of look back later on and you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? This is, pretty good. I don't know why I dismissed it at the time. And, and I think that's what happened. It got lost in the shuffle and people didn't give it the props at the time because it wasn't, the budget that, Independence Day or all these other movies had that came out. So it kind of, just, maybe fell through the cracks and, limited showings and, I think people were thinking they're gonna go see a Star Wars, movie, but for that, even that, it was whatever technical flaws they have during the movie, like it's, it's just really good. Like the storyline's good. It's a simple storyline. You know what I mean? It's, evil's coming. They got to get a weapon to, it's like you said, like a Dragon Ball Z, episode. You know what I mean? They gotta, this evil thing is coming. They got to prepare for it. They run into some dilemmas along the way, but ultimately in the end, this miracle happens and they save the day, and it's, and then you get like the Chris Tuckers, and the Gary Oldmans and stuff that just all blends in and, it's, wasn't appreciated at the time. Now you become more of a cult hit, and people, revere it. So,
I'm pretty like a negative critic, but, I can't find any faults with it. Every scene is memorable. As you can tell, we pretty much know the movie like the back of our hands.
We fucking just went through the whole movie, basically.
Like, you don't even have to go see it. Well, no, you know what? We want you
we left out little parts here and there, but it's,
They're thinking of doing the second part.
Yeah.
Part 2 of Fifth Element. I know they had talks about it this year about them writing out the screenplay for it. So
Yeah.
Well, I just hope they don't do it like how they did in the Independence Day Resurgence. You know how they killed off Will.
I didn't
and
actually
then-
see that, man.
Well, in the movie, I didn't see it either. Honest truth.
Yeah.
But like they killed off Will Smith's character and then like left his son that was there in the first movie. So I hope they don't do it like that. Like they kill off Bruce Willis and Lilu.
What I'm thinking is going to be like Lilu and Dallas, like fucking like 20 years from now, and they have a kid. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
kid's half human, half
Whatever.
perfect being, like Lilu. I don't know. It could be a guy, and he. And he has his dad's, oh, I want to fucking do this, do that, and, and not play by the rules, and, and it's like, but son, you gotta whatever, and
Probably find out more info next year about it.
yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
If you haven't seen the movie, I mean, it's you're missing out. I mean, I don't know if it's on.
It's on
They-
Crackle.
They sometimes have it on Crackle.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you'll have that Crackle, I mean,
Hey guys, Crackle, we're looking for sponsorship. We'll mention it.
I
Like
think Netflix has it every now and then as well.
somewhat like every
Yeah.
once every 6 months or something.
But yeah, it's Fifth Element, really good movie, and I hope we get some more info. If we do, we'll let you know about if they're gonna make a sequel
Or if they have a trailer out next year,
or
we'll
anything. Yeah, and that's
show you our reactions to it.
we'll show you our reaction, then our official boners when it comes out. So because that'll be
Just in closing, give us a like, subscribe, make sure to hit that bell button to keep you updated on all of
Notifications.
videos that come live.
also all our social media.
You can follow us
Facebook,
on
Twitter, Instagram. Am I forgetting one?
MySpace.
Oh,
MySpace, Yahoo Chat, AOL.
God.
But just remember, sometimes death is better, but we hope this movie never dies.
Yes, and I don't think it will.
Sure.
So, from us here at Deth-N-Vengeance, you have a great night. Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time.
Peace.